Hey, sorry for that interruption there. Guess I didn't really realize how little space was left on my SD card. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, really, a lot of the promised functionality that Nintendo was saying they were going to include when they announced it, like the 3D video support and being able to record in 3D videos and all that stuff. A lot of that really wasn't available at all at launch. Like there was tons of stuff that wasn't available at launch. Like the eShop wasn't available, and it was just a mess. Honestly, I felt it was a really poorly planned launch because it felt like they were just leaving stuff out. Um, and so that really annoyed me. And then they didn't have the virtual console for it upgoing or going. You know what I mean? They didn't have it like available for months, and so, I mean, instead they gave us these little, I guess, token apps like AR games, which basically you use the camera, um, and they give you these cards here that you can do stuff with. It's kind of fun to play around with for a day or two, but then you get bored of it because there really isn't that much content there. It's just playing around with the camera and with these cards. Then there's Face Raiders, which I don't remember where that is, but Face Raiders, I mean, basically it's another camera game. There's not much content. And, yeah, I was just really disappointed. I felt like it was a really poorly planned launch, and even now it doesn't seem like they've really fully realized everything they were going to do with the 3DS. Like they said that there were going to be like 3D movies available for it. And I mean, there's Netflix, but other than that, there really isn't anything. I mean, there's no 3D movies that you can buy on the eShop that I know of, and you can't download music or anything. I mean, there is an MP3 player, which is kind of nice, except the volume doesn't really. The volume button is really slippery, and so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I was very underwhelmed. They do have Street Pass, which is kind of a cool new feature, where basically you pass another person with a 3DS on the street and you get a bunch of cool stuff. So that's kind of nice. Um, but still, there's seems like they never really fully realized what they were going to do with this. Because some of the functionality that I was hearing about at E3 uh, back in 2010, some of that stuff isn't available yet, really. But anyway, back to the software, the games rather. Yeah, for about 2 months, Pilot Wings was all I had, and then I got Dead or Alive Dimensions, which is still I think it's the only third-party game I have for the 3DS. Really just haven't been that many games that have interested me. I got this pretty much out of desperation because I was just looking for something to play on the 3DS. And so I got this, and it entertained me while I was in Japan. So I guess it's kind of fun. If you're into fighting games, you'll probably like it. I'm not really into fighting games, but this was entertaining. It's the first Dead or Alive game I've played, so I enjoyed it. Although I think this copy's kind of screwed up because um, I think I like got it too close to a magnet or something because I just for some reason it unlocked all the characters on the game without me doing anything. I don't know if putting a game cartridge close to a strong magnet would do that, but for some reason it did a bunch of weird things, like it screwed up the music too. So anyway, fun game, but still not the major title that I was looking for. So then, when I got back from Japan, Nintendo finally gave me this, which is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. This was what I was waiting for from Nintendo, and this really was the first game that uh, sucked me into the 3DS. I mean, this was the game I spent the majority of my summer playing on the 3DS. It's very fun. I mean, Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the first games I've ever owned, and so it's great to be able to play it on the go. And it's they make it look absolutely beautiful on the 3DS, and so I'd highly recommend this. I was disappointed though that there weren't any other really major game releases from Nintendo during the summer. I mean, there was pretty much this, and that's it. I mean, they need more than one game to keep the 3DS alive through the summer, so I was disappointed there. Luckily, in September, though, they gave me Star Fox 64 3D, and I love Star Fox. I played Star Fox 64 a lot, and so I loved this. I've spent hours and hours on the 3DS version alone since it came out. It's very fun. Uh, the only thing that disappointed me about this was they really butchered the multiplayer. I mean, you can't use Landmasters, you can't use the on-foot thing anymore, and so they really butchered that, and I'm not quite sure why. Still, though, it's great. I mean, they redid the voice acting. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. If you want to play Star Fox 64, at least the single-player experience, I would recommend this, because this is fantastic. I mean, I know it's kind of pointless to compare graphics from a game that's, 14 years old now, to this, which is, brand new remake, but the graphics really make it look incredible. So, highly recommend that. And then Nintendo finally gave me Super Mario 3D Land, which is pretty much the first must-have title, original title for the 3DS, and it took till November for this to finally get here. This should have been available at launch. So, but then again, in my opinion, they shouldn't have even launched the 3DS until like June, because anyway, this game's great. It's basically a 3D Mario platformer that you can take on the go. It's very fun. It sort of combines 2D Mario with 3D Mario. The 3D works great. They've got the classic power-ups and stuff. They don't have a health system in this game. Also, there's no power stars or anything, or any hub world. It's basically there's a world map, and then there's linear levels that you go through to get to the flagpole. And it's fun, but it's not really what I wanted. I would have preferred something more like Super Mario Sunshine, where you sort of have a big world that you can explore. But still, this was fine. I mean, I'd give this probably a 9 out of 10. But yeah, I really do want... I don't really care for how linear Mario games are getting recently, with the Galaxy games and with this. I really would like them to sort of open the world up a bit more with the next Mario game. Bring back star collecting and all that stuff. So, yes, this is still a great game, though. So, and then just recently, I finally picked up Mario Kart 7, which just came out about a month ago. And, it's pretty much typical Mario Kart. I mean, if you like Mario Kart, you'll like this. It's got a few new features, like they added hang gliding and driving underwater, and obviously there's new courses, which are always fun. There's online, as usual. I do like the selection of retro courses that they put in this. That I think they're pretty cool. I'd say that the big problems that I have with this game are the unlockable character roster is really weird. Like, there's spoilers, but there's like the Queen Bee from Super Mario Galaxy. I think she was in like 2 missions in the whole game, and now they're putting her in Mario Kart, and they didn't put Waluigi in, and it's just really weird who they picked. But whatever, I mean, that's not a deal breaker for me. And also, actually, getting back to that, they didn't really put that many characters in this game either, now that I think about it. But anyway, yeah, another thing that kind of annoys me about this is there's not as many gameplay modes as in the Wii version, or at least it doesn't seem like there are as many. Maybe there is, maybe there are, I don't know. I haven't counted, but it seems like it's a smaller game, probably because it's, downsized for the handheld system, but still, it's a great Mario Kart game. If you like Mario Kart, you should get it. I'd probably give it maybe an 8.5 out of 10. So, yeah, that's sort of my overview about the 3DS. I know I've probably droned on and on and on and bored you people half to death, but my opinion of it is it's good, but it's not really what I expected. I really expected something better than this. I expected it to be like a portable Nintendo Wii and stuff, and it really isn't quite that. But it's still enjoyable for what it is. Really disappointed by the games lineup so far because it's just been really drawn out, and there haven't been many good releases until recently. And even now, there's just not enough games for it to be worthwhile. So I'd say wait till next year when some more games start coming out for it. Oh, also, one last thing. There's also an internet browser, which really sucks because it doesn't have Flash or anything like that. So, yeah, the internet browser is pretty much worthless. But, yeah, anyway, getting back to the overview, it's nice, but I gotta be honest, I'm probably going to retire the 3DS pretty soon because I think once the PS Vita comes out, it's just going to put this thing to shame. And so, I hate to abandon a Nintendo console so soon, but I think I'm pretty much going to be retiring this. I mean, I'll still buy any games that look interesting, but I'm not going to be carrying it around with me for much longer. Because, I mean, the only reason I carry it with me at all is just for the MP3 player, because I sold my iPod. But I think once the PS Vita comes out, I won't really need this anymore. So, yeah, kind of a shame that after only a year, it's already going to be outdated, but oh well. So, yeah, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is pretty disappointing considering I'd give its predecessor, the DS, a 9 out of 10 easy. But yeah, I think there's some good games coming out for it in the future, but until then, this is pretty much all I can say about it. So, this is Awesome CDI Person signing off. Expect more videos from me in the future. And also, my on-live micro console review that I promised last year is not going to happen until I finally get a capture card. So, expect that probably sometime around April. So, see you guys with my next video.